Lawmakers in Washington were delivered a disgusting Christmas card. It depicted President Trump's assassination.
Joining us now is one of the lawmakers who got that card, Louisiana Congressman Mike Johnson. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us about what happened when you received that card.
Well, I had a young staffer open the card on Thursday going through a stack of holiday mail that had not been opened. And I don't know if you guys are putting an image on the screen, but this was a disgusting, violent depiction of the president's assassination. And, you know, there are lines over which we should not cross. And this was alarming to us. We brought it to the attention of the Secret Service, and I think they ought to investigate it.
So, Congressman, this was sent out by Hustler magazine, but the source barely matters in this case. No, and it's totally unacceptable either way. And something you've pointed out, and I think worth noting, is imagine if a conservative publication or someone else had sent a similar image about a Democrat or a liberal, where the media would be on this. But we live in an alternate universe here.
We really do, you know, and there's a lot of hyperbole in politics today, but there's a thick line, I think, between hyperbole and the violent depiction, the graphic depiction of someone's violent death. And when you're talking about the president, remember there's a criminal law, there's a federal statute that prohibits making threats to the president for obvious reasons. I mean, look, there ought to be guardrails in society. We ought to have some basic standards of decency that we all respect. And even if you don't agree with a president, it doesn't mean that you should celebrate or indicate or imply that they ought to be assassinated. I mean, this is really getting pretty ugly.
Yeah, and real quick, beyond the publication, regardless of which publication publishes it, I wonder why there are not more lawmakers, maybe on the other side of the aisle, speaking out and saying, look, I might disagree with the president on policy, but this is disgusting.
It's interesting, isn't it? And as you said earlier, I mean, just imagine if this had been done about President Obama or any previous president, there would be outrage, there'd be, you know, cries for censorship and all the rest. I believe in free speech. We all do. I used to defend it in the courts for 20 years. But again, there are some certain lines over which we shouldn't cross. And I think politics is the vitriol needs to be turned down a little bit. I mean, this is getting pretty out of hand.
Absolutely.
Congressman, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, sir. Next year, you're going to have to be a little quicker with opening your Christmas mail, too.
Yeah, exactly.
But you gave us a good story now.
Really.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
We get overwhelmed.
All right, I believe it.